Alright guys, well, I just drove up on the first shed of the day here. Looks like a pretty nice 8-point shed. I think it's probably one of our 2 or 3 year olds. Decent buck. But basically I'm just scanning this field here. I'll show you. Just scanning this field. You see with the 4-wheeler. And basically, as you can see, it's dead weeds, but the weeds are pretty high. So what I decided was I was just going to grid search it with the 4-wheeler and stand up while I was doing it just to get a good view, because if I was walking this from a distance, if the antler isn't sticking up that high off of the ground, I would probably lose it in the grass. So I figured I'll get a better vantage point, get above and take a look through this grass. And sure enough, I just drove up on our first one of the day here, which I'm pretty pumped about. It's pretty early, as I said earlier. It's February 1st, which I'm typically not looking this early. I'm still waiting for this big buck to drop. So I'm just doing fields right now. I don't want to go too crazy. I don't want to go in too deep and potentially boot out the big boy or any other bucks are still holding. So let's take a look at this thing. It is right over my shoulder. Pretty hard to see actually. And I'm looking and I'm not 100% sure, but I actually think, if you guys saw my last video, this is the match to our little drop tine buck. I believe that's what it is. Which, if you remember that little drop tine buck, he dropped it in Christmas, and the feeder is right over there, and that is right where he dropped it. So I'm going to take some quick pictures here, and we'll pick this thing up. All right, let's pick this little guy up here. Yep, that is definitely the other side of that little drop tine buck. Just good. He's got pretty good genetics. Good little tine length for being probably only a 1. I don't know, maybe a 1.5, 2 at the most. But pretty excited about him. But pretty pumped because we got our first 2 sheds this year, our match. Like I said, found them probably about 100 yards apart. So I'm going to keep grid searching this and hopefully pick up another one. Actually, I will say the landowner, he picked up one of the sheds off the bucks I was wanting to find. He picked him up actually right up over the hill here in this field. So it'd be cool if his other side is in here. I doubt it though, because I have pictures of this buck with one antler walking around for about 2 days, so that other antler could be pretty far away. But hey, you gotta look, you gotta put on the miles. So check you in a bit. Yeah, not much for today, but it's all right. I mean, that's shed hunting. We got one, so we're not going home empty-handed, and we matched up that buck, so happy about that. But we'll probably be back down. Maybe probably another 2-3 weeks, or once we see these bucks start dropping more, that's when we'll be down. But until then, guys, we'll check you later. Alright, well, I'm back down here at the 96 acres where I've done a little shed hunting so far, and I found at least 2, landowners found at least 1. And I just got here, and we're looking at it's only about we're getting at the end of February, so it's still a little early. But the big buck here, he lost his antlers, so I said, you know what, I'm gonna dive in, see if we can't find him. But I just got here, and I'm walking up right now to the feeders, and I already see there's an antler laying here, so we got a quick one right off the bat. So let's take a look here. I think it's just a little one, but hey, it's a shed, so I'm pretty pumped about it. Just a little guy. Just a little guy. But hey, shed's a shed. Let's pick this little guy up. Yeah, I know which deer this is. I've had him on camera the last couple days, and he was missing one side, so cool that he lost it right next to the feeders here. So Pretty cool. We got one today so far. Oh my. Oh my. Right on the property line. Check that out. Oh my. I know exactly who that is. Oh man. I am so pumped. Oh man, I can't stop smiling. I see a giant antler up here. I know exactly which buck it is. It's gonna be my biggest shed ever. Oh, it'd be awesome if we could match them up, but I am beyond pumped up right now. I came down here specifically for this buck's antlers. He lost them sometime this week, and I knew it, so I said, I gotta get down here before somebody else travels this field. And I mean, he's laying right here. I can't believe this. I am, oh God. Oh man, this is a stud. I gotta video us walking up on this one. Oh boy. Oh my. Just what a toad. Yep. Doesn't get much better than that, boys and girls. Doesn't get much better than that. Yep. Doesn't get much better than that right there. That's who we were looking for. That's who we were looking for. Yes, sir. Look at the palmation on that beam. This is the buck. I mean, if he would have came in, we would have shot him, but we were hoping he'd live another year, and he's just a toad. Just a toad. I can't believe it. I mean, I can believe that I found the shed, but I mean, I'm 15 minutes within this walk. And as I have on video, I found one, you know, a little one just a couple minutes ago, and just peeked up over the hill here and saw these tines sticking up. I haven't even picked it up, so I guess I'll pick this thing up finally here. Oh, yes sir. Yes sir. Look at it. Look at that. Oh man. Look at that. Just a stud. I mean, I knew he was nice this year, but I think he's young. I think he's only a 3-year-old, so I'm just pumped that we got his sheds, and obviously he lived, and hopefully see what he grows into next year. But he could be an absolute giant. So let's see if we can match him up here. It's probably not far, what I would guess. So we'll check it out. What a shame. I'm being pretty quiet here because I'm in the bedding area. But what a shame it is to find that chewed up one. It almost looks like the buck that I just found. From Antler, I thought it was his. But apparently we missed it last year. But it's a nice one, but it's all chewed up. It's obviously last year's. So, but it is what it is. I mean, but We'll take it, but man, that sucker's chewed up. So check back for more here. Alright guys, I'm about 3 miles, almost 4 miles in today, and as you see, I'm down on this giant ravine bottom, or creek bottom, whatever you guys want to call it, and I put the big antler in the truck, so I don't have to carry it around because I was so close to the truck when I found it. You know, I apologize right now. I'm filming with my phone, and the reason being is it's been pouring all day, and I don't want to get my camera wet. Which, by the way, honestly, I would prefer it being rainy and drizzly. Everything's soaking wet, and that's kind of one of my biggest tips while shed hunting is go when it's wet and go when it's rainy, because these antlers laying there, when they're wet, man, they pop. I mean, they pop out. Compared to like a sunny day, like I was out on Sunday, and it was real nice and sunny, 50 degrees, but I'm gonna tell you now, I mean, it sucked because you're walking around and you have constant shadows, you have constant glare. You can't tell 20 yards from you if it's an antler or anything. I mean, everything looked the same color, but right now, I mean, this whole hillside behind me, it's all damp. I mean, it's completely damp. If there is an antler on that hillside, you know, a big one, it would just pop out. And actually, I see something up there that kind of looks like could be an antler, so I'm gonna climb up there in just a second. But yeah, that's just one of my little tips. Just, you know, when you can go on a rainy day, rainy, cloudy day, sunny. Everybody wants to be out on nice days, real sunny, you know, nice and dry. But man, you can walk past so many antlers that way. So I'd much rather prefer it be this way, but just wanted to say why I was filming with my phone and not the actual camera. But got a little bit more walking to do today, and then I'll head back. I haven't really even dove into the thick stuff yet. I'm just walking some of the main trails and main paths, but we'll hit this harder here in the next couple weeks. So. Alright guys, well, now that I'm back home and nice and dry and warm from being outside in the rain, I just want to touch base on that big antler that I found. You know, like I said in the video, very excited that I was able to find it. I know the deer very well, been watching them all year, and you know, I thought he would end up being, you know, in the 150s, and I did put some tape to his antler, and it actually came out to be about 74 inches. So, you know, I think I lowballed him quite a bit. You know, he could be pushing, let's say, a 20-inch spread, which he may have. I mean, he could be closer, you know, closer to 170, you know, high 160. So, you know, pretty excited about him. As I said, we think he's probably only a 3-year-old. You know, judging by his body, we've only been on the property. This is only the 2nd year, so I don't have much history with him compared to some other properties. But you know, compared to, you can tell on that property, the mature bucks, you know, just body-wise, and their demeanor, and he never appeared to be that you know, that aggressive, or he always hung out with some of the younger bucks. But yeah, just wanted to touch base, and you know, wanted to let you know the results of how big the shed ended up being. And I'll show you the little pedicle or burr, whatever you want to call it there. There's actually still some blood on it, some hair. He's got the membrane, still some membrane on there, which I know the shed was only laying there for maybe a couple of days, because I knew when he shed. But yeah, just wanted to touch base and give you the results of what he scored, and hopefully we'll get you some more videos here soon. We should be finding a couple more sheds. Hopefully we'll match him up here. I don't know. As you can see, you know, we're on the property line. The property line is probably only about, probably 20, 30 yards away. So good chance this other side's on their property, which, hey, whatever, you know, I'm just happy I at least found one of them. But I still got a lot of our property left to walk, so maybe I'll get lucky and find the other side. But, alright guys, thanks for watching, and we'll check you later.